Hello, and welcome to Curated Classics, the channel that shares the most famous and popular stories from books, films and history in quick summaries, so that you can learn the classics quickly without hours of reading or years of expensive courses. Today, you are listening to Carmilla, published in 1872, is a Gothic novella by Irish author Joseph Sheridan Le Fanu. It tells the story of a young woman named Laura, who lives in a remote castle in Styria with her father and a few trusted servants. The novella is a pioneering work in vampire fiction, predating Bram Stoker's Dracula by 26 years, and is notable for its strong female characters and its portrayal of a lesbian relationship. The story begins with Laura narrating the mysterious circumstances surrounding her birth, including the death of her mother and a strange dream she had as a child, in which she was visited by a beautiful yet eerie woman. One day, a carriage accident occurs near Laura's home, and the only person seemingly unharmed is a young woman named Carmilla. Carmilla's mother, who is also in the carriage, insists that she must continue her journey and leaves Carmilla in the care of Laura and her father. The two young women quickly become friends and develop an intimate relationship. However, strange occurrences begin to happen around the castle. Laura and her father hear reports of young women in nearby villages dying from an unknown illness, and Laura herself starts to experience mysterious dreams and a decline in her health. These events coincide with the presence of Carmilla, who exhibits peculiar behavior such as sleeping during the day and disappearing during the night. As Laura's health worsens, her father becomes increasingly concerned and contacts an old friend, General Spielsdorf, who recently lost his niece under similar circumstances. The general introduces them to Baron Vordenberg, a scholar specializing in vampire law. Vordenberg, after examining the evidence, deduces that Carmilla is a vampire, and they unearth her tomb, where they find her resting in a pool of blood. In a dramatic climax, the characters confront Carmilla and, following the traditional methods of vampire disposal, stake her through the heart and decapitate her, thus ending her reign of terror. Laura's health gradually recovers, but the experience leaves her forever haunted by the memory of Carmilla. Carmilla explores themes of sexuality, the supernatural, and the fear of the unknown, while also challenging the traditional gender roles and moral boundaries of its time. Carmilla, by Joseph Sheridan Le Fanu, consists of 16 chapters. The novella is relatively short compared to full-length novels, but its captivating and suspenseful story has made it a classic in Gothic and vampire literature. For a more in-depth understanding of the book, we will now provide a chapter-by-chapter breakdown. Chapter 1. Laura, the narrator, introduces herself and describes her isolated life in a castle in Styria, with her father and a few trusted servants. She recounts her mother's death and a strange dream from her childhood, where she was visited by a mysterious woman. Chapter 2. A carriage accident occurs near Laura's home, leaving a young woman named Carmilla unharmed. Carmilla's mother insists on continuing her journey and leaves Carmilla in the care of Laura and her father. Chapter 3. Laura and Carmilla become friends, sharing an immediate connection. Carmilla is both charming and mysterious, displaying unusual behavior, including her preference for being alone and her reluctance to discuss her past. Chapter 4. Carmilla confesses her love for Laura and reveals that they are connected by a dream she had when she was young, in which she visited Laura. Carmilla's affection for Laura seems to exceed the bounds of a conventional friendship. Chapter 5. Laura hears reports of young women in nearby villages dying from an unknown illness. She also begins to experience strange dreams and a decline in her own health, which coincide with Carmilla's arrival. Chapter 6. Carmilla reveals her aversion to religious symbols and becomes visibly upset when a funeral procession passes by. Her behavior grows increasingly peculiar, and she continues to avoid discussing her past or family. Chapter 7. Laura's father receives a letter from General Spielsdorf, an old friend who has recently lost his niece under mysterious circumstances similar to those affecting the village girls. He is coming to visit Laura and her father to discuss these events. Chapter 8. General Spielsdorf arrives and shares the story of his niece, who suffered from the same symptoms as Laura before her death. He reveals that he discovered a portrait of a woman who looked identical to Carmilla, which he believes to be the cause of the affliction. Chapter 9. The group visits a nearby ruined village where they encounter Baron Vordenberg, an expert in vampire lore. The Baron agrees to help Laura and her father investigate the mysterious deaths and illness affecting the area. Chapter 10. Baron Vordenberg uncovers a hidden tomb beneath the ruins, which he believes to be the resting place of the vampire responsible for the recent deaths. He reveals that Carmilla is likely an alias, and the vampire's true name is Mirkala, Countess Karnstein. Chapter 11. Vordenberg shares the history of the Karnstein family and their connection to vampirism. He explains that Mirkala Karnstein, who now goes by Carmilla, was once a noblewoman who became a vampire after her death. Chapter 12. Laura's father and the others begin to accept the possibility that Carmilla is a vampire. They devise a plan to confront her, while Laura's health continues to deteriorate. Chapter 13. The group conducts a stakeout, observing Carmilla's nightly activities. They witness her leaving the castle and confirm their suspicions about her true nature. Chapter 14. Laura, her father, General Spielsdorf, and Baron Vordenberg venture to the nearby Karnstein castle to find Carmilla's hidden tomb. They discover her resting in a coffin filled with blood, confirming Vordenberg's claims about her vampiric identity. Chapter 15. The group follows the traditional methods of vampire disposal. They drive a stake through Carmilla's heart, decapitate her, and burn her body. As a result, the vampire's reign of terror comes to an end. Chapter 16. With Carmilla destroyed, Laura's health gradually improves. The story concludes with Laura reflecting on the haunting memories of her experience with Carmilla and the lasting impact it has had on her life. Despite the horror and tragedy, Laura acknowledges the bond she shared with Carmilla and the indelible mark it left on her heart. Carmilla by Sheridan Le Fanu explores various themes and moral lessons, encompassing the danger of deception as Carmilla disguises her true vampire nature, emphasizing the need for caution when forming relationships based solely on appearances. The narrative underscores the significance of trust and loyalty as Laura and her father rely on their friends to unveil Carmilla's true identity, highlighting the value of strong bonds and collaboration when confronted with adversity. Additionally, the novel delves into the fear of the unknown through its supernatural elements, cautioning against the dangers of ignorance and the consequences it may bring. The complexity of human relationships is also a central theme, as Carmilla and Laura's bond exemplifies the intricate nature of emotions and connections, illustrating how love can be both beautiful and destructive. In summary, Carmilla serves as a cautionary tale, imparting moral lessons on deception, trust, the fear of the unknown, and the multifaceted aspects of human relationships, ultimately urging readers to be discerning in their perceptions and to cherish meaningful connections. Thanks for listening to Curated Classics. If you enjoyed this story and it provided valuable insights, we hope you will give this video a like by clicking the thumbs up, sharing it with other lifelong learners, and please check out more of the greatest stories throughout history on the Curated Classic channel. See you next time.